Hey, welcome everybody to ProBots. Welcome to day 2 of our tournament here. Endersword is here with me. How are you doing, Endersword?
I'm doing pretty good, and you?
I am
Yeah.
doing great. I am excited for our games today. We have a nice lineup here. If you are just joining us, make sure you go watch last week's games. We're doing a new format this time around. Endersword, are you following the format, or are you thoroughly confused like I am?
I am. It was confusing when we first saw it, but I get the gist of it. The idea is to reward our past players a little bit more with seeding, a little more than we usually do, and not have our new players end up having to face like the number one seed right away when they enter. So the way that this is working is that uh, the bots seeded 1 through 12 are kind of from the previous season are kind of placed in a bracket, and then the new bots, or sorry, 1 through 8 are placed further in a bracket, and the new bots start at the beginning. So we had one round already last week with 8 bots, and 4 were eliminated. So the 8 lowest seeded bots, including some new bots to the tournaments and some pre-existing ones, played a single round elimination. Now those 4 bots have moved on, and they're going to be playing an already seeded, I guess, 5 through 8.
Yeah.
5 through 8
Yeah,
will now play that. Yeah, and then ultimately, whoever wins that, these 4 are going to go on to a group stage where there's going to be kind of more of a group bracket.
Yeah, I like this format. This seems really fun.
Sense. It prevents that thing where we get like someone joins it, and then in the very first week they're playing Eris, and they're just beaten immediately.
Well, that's how it's always been.
Yeah. So it's a more of a reward for the bots that finish kind of in the top 4 in the previous season. You get to kind of skip these qualifying stages, but it also maybe is a slightly better showcase, because a lot of times we've had new bots come in and then we kind of watch a stomp, and then we're kind of like, okay, well, that bot has potential. We just didn't really get to see it because it just played against like the number 1 bot. So it's not going to be quite like that now. So so our first match for tonight is going to be Roro made it through the first qualifying round, and he's going to be playing against Zena, a random bot that has, I believe it's the 3rd season for Zena, 3rd or 4th.
Yep. 3rd season.
3rd, yeah.
As random.
Yes, as a random bot, and has already kind of earned that seed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've seen some fun stuff out of Zena, and we've talked about kind of how difficult it is to be a random bot, because not only do you have to have 3 builds for, 1 for each race, plus however many builds you want for each race, you then have to have a counter for if I'm up against Terran Ezra, if I'm up against Buzz, it just gets a lot more complicated because there's a lot more things you have to start thinking about. You're basically building 3 bots in one, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
At least that's how it is right now. Until we get one of those machine learning bots that can just learn it all and do everything.
Well, that's even harder.
Yeah. One day. We're working our way there. We'll get there.
Sure.
No, what was I going to say? This is a great lineup here. Definitely hit the thumbs up below the stream there if you have not, if you've just joined us. We've got a lot of exciting matches tonight. We want everybody to be able to come in here and see it, so get us some visibility by hitting that thumbs up. We've got Benbot versus Sharpened Edge, Kanana versus Anniebot, and Micro Machine versus Dominion Dog. That one's going to be really fun. A really exciting Terran versus Terran. Oh yeah, I wanted to go back kind of to how we're doing the progression of the tournament, and how it is more fun for the newer bot authors, because there is a bit of a discrepancy in top bot to lowest bot, even within our tournament. There's a bit of a I don't even know how to phrase it properly. Basically, Eris is, he's the top bot. He's been worked on for a long time, and we're gonna actually see what is Eris's new name. Eris is going by something else.
It starts with a P or something now. I forget.
We'll see. I think we'll see it next week. Phobos. That's right. So that we'll talk more about that. But Eris has changed identity a little bit and might have some new builds or something.
It's still a planetary object. Like it's the
which moon? Jupiter.
It's Mars. It's one of Mars's
moons.
Yeah. I think it's Phobos and Deimos, or Mars's moons. Whereas Eris was a dwarf planet before.
There you go. Yeah, not only do you get bots here on ProBots, you get a little astronomy lesson as well.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, well, we've got our matches talked about. So again, we've got 4 best of 3s tonight. It will be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to see these new bots that we have coming in. If you are a new bot author and want to get involved in this tournament, again, make sure you check out the links below us. You can get a template to get your bot started, and you can go compete at AIarena.net. That's where Zena comes from. All the way over there, AIarena.net. They're going to start a new season, I think, pretty soon here. So definitely check that out, and you can follow along. There's a couple different ladders you can play with, but Zena looking really good at 2262 ELO, and is the only bot in Haskell. That is a newer language, at least in my repertoire. I've never seen Haskell until Zena. So
yeah, I never either. I'm familiar with Eddie Haskell, but
I don't think it's quite the same.
No.
Maybe he invented it. Who knows?
It's got to be based on Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver.
Maybe he made it.
But who knows?
And then Roro will be the opponent here.
Yes.
A new bot, right? Or no, we saw Roro last season.
Yeah.
We have seen Roro.
Roro was here last season. But so won the first round. And we'll see how it does against Zena, who is a fairly cheesy bot, if I recall. We'll see if that's changed. But very often that's the case with random. Like you said, you need 3 builds, so you want to keep those builds short against your opponent. And so I think I remember a lot of.
Oh, you're dead on. First trait here in the list is solid, somewhat cheesy random bot. So you remember correctly.
Yeah, Zena does seem to have the advantage on the ladder. We've got below us here the stats of their head-to-head matchups, which is new this year. So based on the ladder AI, they get to play a lot of games there, a lot more than we can end up casting. But obviously they play them at high speed. So these guys have faced off, looks like 233 times, and 90% of those have ended up going to Zena. But again, it's random, and we've already seen upsets of this in round 1, where someone with like a 94% advantage ended up not advancing. And people obviously make changes to their bots as they're entering here. So it may not be indicative, but there you go. That's their past record, and I think we are ready to go right into it.
Let's do it. First best of 3 here on ProBot. Zena versus Roro. Let's go.
Zena. Roro.
You are absolutely correct, Skeletor. This is the future.
It is. I just
the
saw that
future
too.
of StarCraft. It's definitely got a place in the future of StarCraft. It's already, I think, dug itself a nice little niche little community here, and it's ever growing. We've got new authors all the time. So.
Yeah, and I think beyond just gaming too, to get to like AI on a broader sense. AIs competing against other AIs in just various aspects of life is going to become more and more the norm. Like the idea of who can do the best, like trading bot in finance, who's going to create the best bot to hire people for their company, who's going to create the best bot to like market perfectly. Like there's going to be all kinds of things where everyone's looking to come up with competing things, and we're just seeing it in a much more explicit, obvious way that this is literally direct competition. That's why it makes such a good model for what things are going to look like in actual society. It's very easy to explain. Like whenever I give talks on AI and stuff for my actual job, very often I reference the stuff we do in gaming, and it's easy for people to understand, like a chess game or a StarCraft game or a whatever. Like they get the competitive aspect and how bots reply to it. And this is a really good competitive response here. Zena coming out with 3 spine crawlers, although putting them towards the ramp as you would think you need to defend. But we've got
Yeah, on
Roro.
paper this looks
Yeah.
good,
Yeah,
but
but actually
we saw
back
this last
north,
week, and it's
Yeah.
sneaky,
it's really good.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Roro
really good.
2-0'd Smooth Brain last week with this strategy.
Yeah.
And here we go. Let it begin. Let the games begin. The spine crawlers in the absolute wrong position for this kind of rush. So Roro absolutely catching Zena a little bit off guard. But otherwise, yeah, on paper, this is the exact response you would want to do.
Yeah.
As a Zerg, you want to get those spine crawlers up. You want to make sure nothing can really come off that ramp without taking a lot of damage. And Roro's just like, no, I'm not going to even worry about that, and just goes completely behind the base here. And as you can see, the barracks built on the low ground, and they're actually lifting up and joining the other barracks now on the high ground to keep cranking these Marines out behind enemy lines where the spine crawlers can't reach in.
Indeed. Now, what's interesting here is they will come into the spine crawlers, see how long they last. And we were talking about
They're
this
gonna
last
go.
week. I was kind of curious, what if you just ignored this and go attack the other side? That's exactly what Zena is in fact doing. So if Zena can just take out all the SCVs and kill everything on this side and shut the economy down, then is 3 spine crawlers actually enough to just hold this?
Oh, yeah, totally.
And but can you kill them? So far that first little batch of lings did not actually do enough to really take these out. Really good micro on these.
Are the
He's lost,
SCVs
like,
repairing
very
at all?
low.
I can't. We don't have health bars up. I can't see
Yeah.
if the SCVs are repairing at all.
Yeah, I can't
Is it
fully see there,
select?
but there's
Select
not
them, maybe?
you know, they're just pulling back really well.
It's so hard to tell sometimes
Yeah.
with bots. They do things so quickly. They could
Yeah.
be doing like a quick little repair on the run, you know, as they
Yeah.
retreat backwards, like hit a little repair next to their buddy or something.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're dead on. If the Lings can create enough pressure and clear out the mineral line, then the Marines will eventually stop. The
Yeah.
spine crawlers are not going to die to anything less than like 10
15,
Marines.
yeah, like
10 or
it's
15.
gonna be a bit to do it, and it depends too. I don't know whether the queens are coded to you know, transfuse them. Anything like that can keep them alive way longer.
This is a
Now
very
we're getting
blitzkrieg attack.
yeah,
Just
yeah. Now we've
go
got the
for it.
breakthrough, and
Yeah,
he
it
is going to take it out.
Man, those SCVs held on for a long time though.
Yeah, the
Very
first
valuable.
attack, when like 8 came in, I thought half the SCVs would die. Like 3 of them died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to turn on health bars or damaged health bars or something so I can see, because I am curious if they were repairing it all.
Yeah.
If they got any repairs left. They might not have been. It might have just been really good micro against the Wings. But
Yeah.
there we go. Zena looking really strong. Looking almost in trouble there. A little bit of trouble from Roro, but was able to hold on. And man, that's a strong attack, but it wasn't able to break Zena. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll work.
Still working
Does
out.
Roro switch it up game 2? I can't remember.
I don't know because we saw him win. So
Oh,
he
he won
just did
2.
it
Oh,
again.
yeah, he won 2. Oh, yeah, with that.
Yeah, he just did again. Now, in this case, though, one thing that's going to be an X factor is, you know, who is going to switch it up is Zena. It's a random bot.
Ah, yes.
So
that'll be
why-
curious. Will
yeah.
Roro think that Zena's Zerg next game?
No, it does know their.
Is it?
I don't know. Does it know the race when they're random loading it? I know it knows the race if they just load in as the race. I don't think it knows the race.
Well, yeah, because you would know beforehand, you know, this bot is this race. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just something you
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't
hard
think
code
you
in
know.
specifically to deal with. I don't know. Anyway, nice game from Zena. A really good attempt. Roro really got deep into the mineral line. Was able to avoid those spine crawlers for a little bit, but not
Yeah.
long enough, and then it
He
just
kind of
trickled
got
in to
baited
his
over.
demise.
He could have just killed the hatchery
totally.
safely, but he got baited over by the workers into the.
Oh, when they were running
spine
away,
crawlers?
yeah.
Yeah, because he could have just stayed at a distance, killed the hatchery, and just that would have been the end of it. Another neat thing I noticed at the very end of the game there is Roro sends out those workers to build the barracks. Then they just chill. They just stayed there.
Oh,
So,
really? I
yeah.
didn't notice
So,
it.
so the whole game they just stayed in that spot. Had they gone home to defend, maybe he would have.
Oh, yeah, you would have had a few more SCVs
yeah.
for the defense. Could have held on a little longer, maybe.
Yeah, because he needed to hit that critical mass of Marines, and he never got there. Because I mentioned this last week too, and it relates probably to the speed mining, but I don't think a person can support 7 racks full of Marines. off the single mineral line. But because he's speed mining and everything, I think he can. But once you start to lose SCVs, you can't. So maybe, yeah, he'd be better off cutting.
Yeah, maybe
some
if
of
he
that.
had not had any attacks, or if he had walled off,
Yeah,
the Marines would have kept coming strong
Yeah.
enough that they could have overpowered the spines or something.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, great read. I wonder when Zena, I wasn't paying attention enough at the beginning when we were talking about AI stuff. I wonder when Zena saw and recognized. It must have just been scouting overlord or something and just saw,
Yeah.
oh, there's a proxy barracks. Build
Yeah, it
some-
seemed to know right away
static
what was
defense,
going on. Well,
Yeah,
and
it
I
was really
wasn't
quick
sure if it was
response.
an early scout just seeing nothing or what.
You
but
saw
yeah,
the
it was
barracks
great.
fly in. I can't remember.
Yeah.
We need to pay more attention. All right, well, I'm going to pay attention more in this one. Game number 2, but this one's going to be totally different potentially. We've got a random bot, Zena, going up against Roro. Let's go.
Zena. Roro.
Yeah.
But with like a
It's on the
blow
line.
dart or something.
Oh, maybe, yeah, blow dart
It
thing.
strikes me as like a blow dart gun.
It just looks like it's
Yeah.
from some like 1920s sci-fi novel or something.
It's
Cool.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm saying
it
I
has
like
it has this feel of like a Da Vinci futuristic,
Oh, yeah, a little.
something like that.
Oh, there we go. There was the scout. See, I was paying attention.
yeah, yeah.
Zena sent out a little worker and just boop, saw it instantly with the probe there. And yeah, we've got a Protoss this time.
Yeah.
So you can't build spine crawlers. What are you going to build? Cannons to do with this?
Cannons you could build, or really
ways
if
out,
he just
though.
if he gets aggressive with it, I don't mind just the gateways, because
I think just gateways is the good response.
if he gets gateways and he gets 2 zealots out early, and then the positioning of these should float in right where he's got those buildings, so that he should be seeing them. And if he gets 2 zealots, then they just camp on top of it. I think, get 2, get 4, get 6. I think you're going to be fine. But
Yeah, I think this is easier to hold as Protoss because you don't have that static defense in this,
because
at
he
least
should
in this
see
scenario.
this. Yeah, he should see this immediately.
Oh yeah,
And he is making 2 zealots, and he's cronering one of them. So that zealot's going to be out before a marine even gets out. So he should be on it. Absolutely.
Roro going for broke here, all or nothing, trying to take out Zena.
This part
But
concerns
I don't
me.
know.
So is he going to do the same thing though? Is really the thing. He may not be. He may be going for the no struggle defense, which is I just sent the zealot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, this
He's
is
not. He's
held,
gonna
I
pull
think.
back.
There's already 2 zealots out for 1 marine.
He's got to kill him though.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
He'll catch him. Yeah, that's true. The Marines could kite the zealots actually if you get a 2 or 3 out. One's the bait and the rest just shoot.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah,
but
if you
it's
get
gonna
up
be
to
tricky.
a big number. Well, what's concerning me a little is he's sending. Okay, he is sending 3 zealots across
Was
the map.
he okay? Well, that's fine. I think he still has
It
enough.
might be. This might
to
be
defend.
fine.
Well,
There's a pylon.
this could get weird.
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
if things
yeah, it can get
if
weird
Zena
quick.
doesn't control this properly.
Yeah, it can get weird quick if he
This
doesn't
might start
really
to get weird.
because that one zealot may die or could have if the second one didn't come. He's
I
barely
think it's
alive.
kind of going to be the same scenario as last game, though. We saw all the drones have to evacuate, that kind of thing. As soon as Roro's mineral line was under threat,
Yeah.
the Marines just stopped. It shouldn't be too big of a deal for a stalker or 2 to kite a handful of Marines in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 1 zealot, 2 zealot. The appropriate amount of SCVs are being pulled in response. We're not seeing too big of an overreaction, which is nice. Out of Roro. Oh, there we go. We got our health bars as well. So.
Shield battery there is going to help a ton.
Oh, he barely saved the stalker with that
yeah.
shield battery.
But three
That
stalkers,
should hold it.
soon to be 6 will be perfectly fine. And then, yeah, the zealots, you're not going to be able to kill them one after
That shield
another.
battery was a little clutch there.
It was.
Had that one stalker died, the Marines could definitely start
Yeah.
piling up a little bit more. But no, I think this is going to eventually
Yeah,
just
no,
be
he's
too much
gonna
for
broken.
Roro to
Oh,
continue.
yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Even without the stock, even without the zealots killing on the other side, this is
That's a
now.
good try.
Yeah, now he's done too much of it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun though. I liked it. It was a really aggressive build out of Roro and has a lot of potential. We saw it do really well last week, but Zena seems to just have the perfect response to this, to anything really.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if it was like an act, like whether it's specifically to this or whether it's just a generic response to I'm being rushed by something, because it almost doesn't feel accustomed to this, but it is still the right thing to do. Because just the first zealots could have just like wiped the building, like wiped everyone, wiped the buildings, ended it there. So it was a bit of a risk to run across the map and do this, but obviously it works.
Well, there's always the risk if the zealots do that, all of a sudden then the economy back home is able to, the barracks maybe retreat. Maybe there is a follow-up for Roro, you know? So it is one of those gambles, but I think it was a good one to send a couple units across, because stalkers were just starting to pop out. They're going to be able to deal with unupgraded Marines all the time. So that was a good game, good series out of those two. A little quick, but I love the aggression. I really like the aggressive builds and the attempt. Not even a snipe. That was just an attempt to do a really aggressive, cheesy-ish build and take out your opponents.
Definitely.
You know?
And I think part of it is the matchup here is if Roro had done nothing cheesy, Zena was gonna cheese anyway. Right? So I think you sometimes run into that, which is like it's maybe like he obviously did scout this whole thing, but it's quite possible that Zena was going to build 4 gateways and hit you anyway. So it just plays into his hand or her hands a little bit there. But I like Roro's in the first week. It felt like Roro's even building placement was very precise to the enemy bot, like knowing exactly where their vision was. In this one, particularly in the second game, it just plunked right down in where the buildings were. So yeah, it's whatever. But again, it's random, so I don't know that he knows which build he's gonna face. Whereas with some other bots, you're gonna know exactly what they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is definitely a situation where you just kind of have to scout and see what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got our next match coming up: Benbot versus Sharpened Edge. Oh, and we are eliminating bots just right out of the gate. We've already had 4 eliminations last week. We just had 1 more. We usually give our bots at least 2 chances, but not this season. They are getting into this arena and just ejected out if they lose there. But yeah, here's our next match. Benbot is always a pleasure to watch. Has a really good late game, I think, if it can get up to that point. Those battlecruisers stack really nicely. And,
yeah, very much. Like that first series was short. I do not expect this one to be. Benbot is never a short game.
I don't know. There's been a few where Benbot really just gets to the battlecruisers quickly and dominates.
There's a few times where he's won with the bunker rush.
Oh yeah, the bunker rush.
But that's not usually it's not usually intended to win, and I don't think Sharpened Edge will lose to that. So I do expect
Sharpened Edge is seasoned veteran, should be all right. Yeah, look at the win rate there. Oh wait, that's not win rate against opponent. I was like, these two are
these were similar though. It was on the previous screen, and I think that said they're like 54 to 46. So it is relatively close against one that'll pop back up when we come back out. But yeah, I expect this to be a lot closer match, and I do expect it to go to the end game. Yeah, there we go, 56 to 42.
Pretty close
on that. So 152 to 115 in favor. It scrolled off who that was in favor of, but I think Benbot. So in favor of Benbot by a little bit.
Let us know in chat who you want to win once they get the poll up. They've got the old one still. Roro actually won the popular poll last match. But we are ready for our next best of 3 here. Thank you for joining us on ProBots Day 2 of Sideloaded, our final season of the year. Let's go ahead and hop into it.
Benbot BC. Sharpened Edge.
Okay, here we are. Oh, and we do have new maps this season. This is not one of them, I don't think.
No,
Wait, is this one of them?
No, we had this
No.
last season.
Yeah, we had this last
Infested.
season.
Yeah. But yeah,
And
but
we're
there are some
always, in case anyone was curious, we're about, what, like one update behind usually
new. Yeah.
on compared to the normal StarCraft game that you see. Ooh, a little more
Okay.
cheese coming on here.
Yeah.
Sharpened Edge trying to do... Actually, it just looks like a base
Yeah,
block.
just
Doesn't
a-
look like anything that cheesy.
A base block, but there is a cheese as well.
Benbot,
but
actually.
on Bedbot's side. So, yeah, interesting to do this. So I think Benbot is going
Oh,
for the
we
normal.
did do a cannon.
Okay. Interesting, but is he gonna repylon this? Because the
I thought
cannon
he wasn't gonna stick
the
with it.
cannon, yeah, the cannon itself doesn't do anything.
Well, it'll build. It'll finish building, which is
Well,
something.
build, but
but
it won't shoot. Okay,
there we go.
so
Yeah,
he's
Sharpened Edge knows
gonna
how to
fire
build another pylon.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
He's gonna ramp this
cancel.
up.
It's an interesting one, and this may be exploiting the fact that, of course, Benbot does tend to proxy the first racks. So there's not, but he's going to have to bring it home. This is a good response to the Benbot to not continue with what he was originally intending there, and good persistence with these probes. Very often they kind of get, once there's any disruption, they kind of get lost. They die. They're not good at evading and finding these spots, but he is going to find really good spots, and cannons are going to get up at least somewhere.
Will they?
I
Will
think
they? I don't know.
well, that one's a block.
Okay, that one does. Yeah.
I want to
that's
see
way
it.
back.
I'd like to see a second one up there because there he's going to have to cancel. He's got the two pylons, but that's obviously where you want them, is up top.
He needs to get the probe. Is what needs to happen.
can't- yeah.
And- Oh, he didn't target it. The Marine ran away. What the heck? Oh, he went for the other probe.
If he starts a third, he will get it, but he's not going to start a third.
Like a Scooby-Doo scene. The Marine doesn't know which probe to chase after.
They're going,
All right,
after,
they
they're going
get him.
after a pylon though instead of a cannon, probably because they don't view the cannon as a threat yet. But it's going to then let the cannon finish, both of them.
Oh wow, yeah.
If they were shooting the cannon, then they would get it.
Our constructing buildings are weaker, right? They don't have the armor or something. Is that a thing still? Or...
I don't know if it's a thing. It, yeah.
It was a thing for Zerg, I think, for a while. When they
I mean,
were-
you can overpower them. Yeah, I don't know if Zerg gets building armor. Yeah,
I think they changed it so
Something
it,
like
it
that.
no longer takes extra damage while it's constructing or something.
but it kind of looks like with these up now, 2 cannons and 2 pretty full pylons.
Wow, I really thought Benbot was going to actually be able to hold that. He
Should
killed the first
had,
pylon,
he had the material to hold it, and
had
it's
the
not.
material to hold it.
It's not what he shot at. He shot at the wrong things.
Yep.
He chased the probes around for a while, which makes some sense, but they took too much time in doing that, and then he didn't have enough to kill their cannons.
Well, at least that one cannon would be dead. Look at it; its health is
Yeah.
so low. If he had done that damage while it was constructing, yeah, it absolutely would have at least mitigated some of this pressure. But Benbot looks like he's falling apart here. There's no barracks, there's no follow-up, there's just mining coming in. 1 Marine and a lot of mining. And that's not going to be enough.
And it doesn't look like he's like adapted to this. I think he wants to like expand or something.
You
It
can't
hasn't-
because of the threat.
You
of the
can't get
cannons.
down there. There's a nice bunker down there that's empty.
Don't
Yeah,
bring this.
he's not going to take gas. He's not going to rebuild the barracks or anything. He's just kind of trapped.
It's kind of, yeah, it's almost like a checkmate scenario. Like he's just hit this area where he cannot progress further. He wants to. You can see the SCV coming out every now and then to do something, but the Marine is cornered. It can't push out because it knows it would die. So at least there's, some recognition there. You could build a barracks, I guess, out of the way, a little bit north.
Yeah, you could definitely, if he had planned to,
something.
I mean, one, you could have moved the 2 barracks that were there instead of just letting them die.
That too.
But definitely you could rebuild a barracks. You could have started a factory, got a tank out, and just shelled this position away. But you'd still be obviously behind.
All right. Well, we can
yeah.
probably fast forward this a little bit here. Benbot is checkmated, and it's just a matter of time until Sharpened Edge's army comes across. As you can see, Sharpened Edge in the background does have a follow-up to the Cannon Rush. You can see the Robo-Bait is finished. A few gateway units there. And yeah, once
It's the first successful Cannon Rush this season. It's certainly not the first successful Cannon Rush. Tier has done it. We had three-way lover always did it. Although it's one of the ones that I would say it's one of the more successful Cannon Rushes that was under combat.
Oh, like, totally. It should have been stopped almost.
Very
often. Pylon died.
Yeah, very often the Cannon Rushes like sneak in. They either do it in your face and someone just doesn't respond, or they find a like sneaky way to get in. This one was like actually under direct conflict and still get out.
Oh yeah, we've totally seen a Cannon Rush before. Well, here we go. We'll go into game 2 shortly as Sharpened Edge will clean up with the cannon pressure, followed up by the 2-base attack, which that's my favorite. Any kind of 2-base play, I think, is really strong.
Yeah,
especially in the hands of a bot.
Good timings that you can hit.
Good timings. Yeah, you have just enough to keep the pressure on for a little bit. So, all right. Well, we'll get game 2 loaded up here. Might have another quick series. All these bots being really cheesy in this format. Yeah, it's a good risk to take because we are doing single elimination at this point. So you kind of want to take an aggressive risk, I think, where you want to do something that your opponent might not be able to hold. You know, it's something they might not have prepared for or just might not be able to deal with because it's so aggressive. But I think it's a good way to go.
Very true. Very true. And yeah, I thought we'd see a longer game than that, but I didn't think that Sharpened Edge would be the one kind of cheesing.
Yeah,
but definitely a good move. And see if Benbot retreats from what he usually does, which is that bunker opening. He at least knew to pull back from it, which you don't see a lot of people bother to code that in of like, I'm being attacked, so bring that bunker home. A lot of them would just kind of continue on come hell or high water, but he did respond appropriately and almost held it, but just not quite. So
yeah, and these bots have been updated for the most part, most of these bots. And we'll get, I think, a round of updates next week or maybe the week after, something like that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We've got game number 2 ready to go. Let's hop into it.
Benbot BC. Sharpened Edge.
One Python bot and one Java bot here. Benbot is the Java bot. Sharpened Edge is the Python bot.
Yeah.
How many? We've got a few Java bots now. What, 3?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Ketrock is.
Ketrock.
Right?
Yep. Maybe just the 2. Yeah. Oh, no, Dominion Dog is as
Dog
well, right?
is,
yeah.
I think so.
So, yeah, there's a few.
And I would almost say that Sharpened Edge is not just the Python bot, it's the Python bot. Like, I think
what makes it the Python
well,
bot?
just that Imphy has...
Oh, the Sharpie framework. Yeah.
Yeah, has helped develop so much of that so many other bots use. It's kind of the...
It's kind of like the clone template or something. That's interesting to think about. Yeah. Huh. So yeah, new bot authors. Yeah, if you're looking for a good Python framework, go check out the Sharpie framework or whatever it's called, right? Sharpie.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
You can find it in the Discord. You can ask someone. I don't have a direct link to it personally, so don't ask me. I'm just here to relay information. And speaking of information, we've got some here. Sharpened Edge is able to get a second base up. Is not going for that super cheesy cannon rush this time. Is going to play a little bit more of a macro game. But what is Benbot doing?
Benbot is doing what he was trying to do last time, which is he is going to put that bunker down in front. And there is a proxied barracks a fair distance away. It's still like on his side of the map, but he'll get some Marines there anyway.
Yeah, a little quicker. Well, and it does give you that option to pull it back home, which is kind of nice. Now, the bunker stopped the pylon going down here. Oh, Sharpened Edge. I wonder... Oh, another one's going to try to come down. I wonder how much this is going to screw up Sharpened Edge's attempts at whatever. That probe really wants to build it there, but it will not be able to. Oh
Yeah,
no, we keep
hopefully.
seeing one more at a time coming down for it.
Yeah, hopefully he'll quit on it. I don't know at what point that may or may not be the case, but
Oh,
he's not making any units. He's not making like any. Okay, Stalker's coming.
the
in a
eternal
second
probe
here.
drain.
And a shield battery. But yeah, you really want to see this canceled because he can't just keep sacrificing probes to the bunker.
Well, he can keep Chrono boosting them out for a little bit. Okay, finally a Stalker's out. Maybe that'll be able to get the SCV or something, but no, this bunker contain is really going to do some damage and screw a Sharpened Edge here. And we've talked about this a lot in seasons past, just how good this can be. And you're seeing right now what it really can do. It really can just slow down and stop what your opponent's trying to do.
Yeah, and I think if you just kind of allowed this and chilled, he's trying to get Stargates up behind this, but just sending units down. Like I'm a little surprised that he is doing this because it's something that's not an uncommon thing, and so for a veteran bot like Sharpened Edge to just be sending units to their death, I'm a bit surprised at it.
This could just be one of those weird scenarios that it has never really encountered, where there's a bunker in the way of my pylon. You know, obviously it happens, but how often? Not that often. At least not often that we would see it.
Not that off, but I mean that's where a bunker goes.
Yeah, that's true. And you should be able to move it. Yeah.
Like if anyone has ever bunker rushed you, that's where it goes.
Huh.
And even if it wasn't directly on your pylon, it's got to be close.
Well, maybe it's a map issue then. Maybe it's
Yeah,
just because
I
this
don't know.
is one of the
Maybe.
newer maps, so could just be a map placing issue, map pathing issue. Who knows?
Yeah.
Any number of
Yeah,
thing could be
something
causing
is-
this.
Yeah, something is
causing it.
odd because I don't think this is normal Sharpened Edge behavior. Like usually a veteran bot kind of doesn't do this sort of thing. This is something you usually see happen with some of the newer ones.
Oof.
They get jebaited down,
Oof.
to kill themselves. But yeah,
Hey, there's an Oracle about to come. Actually, the Oracle just finished. Where's it going to go? Looks like across the map.
Yeah.
So that's something. Sharpened Edge was able to get to some Stargate
is
tech,
something.
but just an eternal mineral drain on this bunker. And now with a tank and Marines, nothing's going to bust that anytime soon.
and what often happens, and I think this is the case, is when you get into this worker death loop, you end up pulling workers off gas.
Oh, I didn't get it. Okay, there you got one. Sorry. Yeah,
you
you end up not getting the workers
and then
off
you
the
don't,
gas.
yeah, and so you just don't have enough to support whatever it is you're trying to do. Yeah, good kill count here.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
6 kills, almost one more. So solid. Hey, if your Oracle can get in and get 6 kills, that's great. Man, we have really seen an evolution of Oracles in the last season.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot better.
They've really, I guess the bot authors are really putting a little bit more focus into them because they're starting to do pretty well. They're getting worker kills. They're, scouting. I think we've even seen a few stasis wards to some effect.
Yeah, we have some decent ones. Some in the mineral line that just catch everything.
Yeah, the mineral line ones. Yeah. Not
It's-
bad.
It's now to the point he's sending 2 probes down at a time. It's as if he knows that the first probe's going to die. So he sends it back up. And it's like, why?
Preemptively.
Yeah, like it's worse. He's down to only 7 workers. There's
Oh yeah, this is over.
Phoenix
This is
gets
100%
jebaited
over.
in. It's a strange death loop. You don't usually see like one of our bots that's been around for like 5 years do this.
Yeah.
But it is happening.
Shows the strength of a not even that cheesy of a build. This is a pretty standard bunker container.
It's not meant to win, and
Yeah.
I feel that's the thing is that BenBot does this to like delay, to just poke
Put on
whatever
pressure. Yeah.
to get up to the battle cruisers that come later. It's not meant to win, but sometimes it wins.
Well, here we go. We've got a series, a best of 3 actually going to the 3rd game.
Indeed, we do. The rubber match, the ace match.
Ace match. And one of these bots will get tossed into the scrap pile. They are both fighting for their tournament lives here. So all the bots that win tonight will actually go up against each other. There's one final round of carnage in this kind of lower bracket, you could call it. So the winner of this will go up against Zena, a random bot next series. Or that'll be next week. Oh, and back to the updates. We were talking about when these bots are updated. So in 2 weeks from now, we will see our first updates when we get into that. I think that official round of 8 where we've got our 4 qualified bots from last season going up against the 4 bots that make it out of this bracket, out of our group stage, essentially. What do we call it? The qualifiers or something?
Yeah, I think we call it the qualifying rounds. Yeah.
Qualifying rounds. Yep, it's good stuff. All right, well, we have got our third game loading up. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that little thumbs up below us. Get us a little bit more visibility onto YouTube. Thank you for joining us here on ProBots Sideloaded, our final season of the year. This is a good bracket. A lot of great bots, some new bots, some returning bots. A lot of really good stuff. Make sure you check out all the links below us if you are just tuning in here. I can see our viewer count is growing slightly, so that's awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility and all that stuff to get people into here. And fun times. And we're going to get, so we'll see if that map thing plays in. If I don't know what caused Sharpened Edge to change away from, again, that may be map dependent, that it was like, okay, I do a cannon rush in this map because it's laid out in a good way. That makes a lot of sense. And whether this like bunker reaction is maybe just because it's whatever, it's on top of a ramp or it's just at a certain position, maybe causes them to do that. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll find out here.
We'll
Game 3. Let's go.
Benbot BC. Sharpened Edge.
All right, here we are on Golden Aura. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, we'll see if it was a little more map dependent because the bots. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention the bots do get vetoes this time around if so desired. So make sure you take note, authors, if you did not know this. I believe each update round you can veto, I think, 1 map or something.
I think, yeah, like each gets 1.
That sounds right. Yeah. So make sure you check. It should be in the rules and all the guidelines that were sent to you via email. But make sure you get a little map veto in there if you don't want to see a certain map, because there are certain maps that bots can struggle with, or they just didn't have time to prepare for. You know, there are certain maps that they might have really good builds that they want to use. So by adding a little veto here this season, gives it more likely chance that they're going to give us a good performance and be able to, you know, hopefully deal with the map. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Same as same as any human player. There's certain maps that you don't fit your style, and I find the biggest variation is the naturals. Whether there's a ramp to your natural or it's flat. There's often a couple that have, like this map, have flat openings without a ramp up, and the ramp is far away. That's obviously going to be disadvantageous to certain bots. And then with humans, it's often a lot about airspace behind a base or behind bases, that certain races prefer that, some don't. But yeah, exactly. And so with the bots, some of it's like pathing and stuff. Like
we got cornered.
Like whatever just happened there.
Yeah, right there. Speaking of pathing, yeah, the Marine got pinned in and just could not run away any further. Now, was that, because that's a doodad, I think, the decoration there. So I wonder if that was blocked with that.
Yeah, it makes a big difference too, because if he doesn't kill it outright, then he never comes back and kills the SCV, and the SCV is now repairing that bunker. Instead, it just goes down clean. And
this was a little bit different of a build too, I think. It seemed like Sharpened Edge prioritized getting that zealot out a lot sooner, which was quicker. Good. And we didn't see the pylon spam trying to come down on the bunker, so much cleaner this time around on Gold.
Well, and again, even just positioning, right? So where are you going to put? If you've got a ramp to your natural, you're going to put your pylon to blockade the ramp. So it's forward more. If you don't have a ramp, then you're going to tuck your pylon back, usually more to the nexus, and use that as a choke point. It's just a different thing, like you said, because of the map. So yeah, it's just a natural extension of that, and it leads to a totally different game.
This is a good series, a good way to start off our third game of the series here. Good map to be on as well. I really do like this map. I think it's got a lot of interesting things going on. You've got just kind of some randomly placed decorations and pathing blockers, and you can see some rocks there. Why Monster Energy Drink got this map is that on all the maps?
It's on a bunch of them. I don't know whether it's all of them, but it's definitely on more than one.
Like how
and
much
it's like all over the
do?
place. I mean, they are. I assume my assumption is that these came through the Team Liquid map competition, and I think there's still a sponsor of Team Liquid.
I guess,
but I don't know. Yeah, but they're there anyway.
It's interesting. That's cool that you could put whatever you want there. You know.
Yeah.
You could,
exactly. Yeah, I'm surprised
you know how
it
to
made
use
it
the editor.
into if it made it into the official
Yeah, why aren't we updating these maps to have like bot things on those little signs? We should do that.
Well, we'll talk to Scarlett because I think
make
she's
it more
the one
bot
that makes
related.
things. I kind of miss the days I think you still can, but they're the game heart stuff and everything when that first came out, it used to be more it was really easy to put your organization's logo on the maps and
you would just plop it in the middle.
All that stuff. It was really, really easy to do.
I think it's still easy
I think
to
you
do.
can still do it. I just don't see it as much for whatever reason.
Well, it's pretty easy just to go in there and add stuff in the editor. All right, well, things are shaping up a lot safer play out of both these bots. They both took their jabs at each other in games 1 and 2. They each had a really nice attack and managed to secure a victory. But this time, they both want to get that win through a macro game, through a legitimate brawl here. And so far, we're just kind of stuck on 2 bases. Just hanging out, waiting to see if they're going to build up an army, or maybe we'll see more expansions. No, we are going to see a push across the map here. It's kind of hard to see Sharpened Edge on the minimap with all that blue terrain. I almost didn't see him at first.
Yeah, it blends weirdly in
Here he
some
comes.
places. 2 bunkers and that double Widow Mine. I don't think he's going to break through here, but he's still good work on the first bunker.
Knocker's clumping a little bit too much. They could definitely be spreading out and attacking a little bit more effectively, not taking as much tank fire, but they take a lot of damage there.
Yeah,
and pretty much everything dies. Here's
the Widow Mines just wiped them. And
they
that's
got
kind of
way
what
too
this
close.
is for. Yeah,
Widow Mines there.
it landed right in the middle of those stalker packs and dead.
Not a boom.
Not a good trade.
Not a good trade. But that being said, Sharpened
Edge.
Edge is still ahead in supply. So is it that big of a deal?
Not really, but you kind of in a little bit when a battleship blinks across or something, you're gonna wish you had the other 6 stalkers.
What just happened there? He was building third base and then
aborted. Yeah, I don't
aborted. Know. Yeah. Huh. That was weird. Maybe he scouted something and thought maybe an attack was coming, so canceled it. I don't know. All right. Well, we do have another nice little army here from Sharpened Edge, so there's definitely a chance to make something happen for both these bots still. Blink is almost done. Nice upgrades, +1 attack. Got to finish up. Ooh, but we've got Liberators. We don't see a lot of Liberators in bot games. At least I don't.
I feel like people still struggle to really be effective with them.
Is it one of those harder units to figure out still?
It's like the tank, but it's directional. So people still struggle with when to siege their tank and when not to. And then you constantly see it. Yeah,
just place it. Ah!
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Anyway, here we go. The big attack. We are going to have Stalkers blinking out of the way. Guardian Shield goes up but gets taken down almost immediately, so the Immortal is going to fall. So will the bunker, or at least the first bunker. Man, this is a scrappy fight. The Stalkers are just up in the tank's business right now.
They are, but they're not firing.
They're not.
They're just chilling on the tanks. They could have ended that so easily by target firing the tanks down, and they did not.
Ooh. I guess in the end, Benbot comes out on top because
Yeah.
Sharpened Edge just lost so much army. How much has been lost here? Yeah, about double.
Yeah.
Well, that's just minerals. Oh,
He-
so much gas has been lost.
Yeah, that's a weird case. If
That
he won that like, yeah, I don't even know what happened. I think he was just so fixated on the bunker and the Liberator, he just like was sitting on top of tanks with stalkers and even zealots, and they just never clicked on the tanks.
Well, it was, I think, one of those things, if he was fixated on the bunker, it's almost a scenario where maybe he saw, oh, the bunker's really damaged, I can keep attacking it, but the SCVs were repairing it.
Yeah.
So by the time he attacked again, it's like, oh, well, all that damage has been repaired. But then he attacked again, it's like, oh, the bunker's almost dead again. So he kept attacking or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those bunker repairs can really screw with the bot's AI. That was painful, though. Big losses out of Sharpened Edge. Things still relatively even. Despite that, Benbot has taken a little bit of a supply lead because of that engagement, I think. But
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is Benbot's just constantly teching up. Sharpened Edge is really not, and part of it is because, for whatever reason, like you pointed out, he's failed to get this third base in place.
yeah, I think we saw this last week as well. Didn't I feel like I mentioned it? I was like, oh, why did he cancel or stop trying to build that base?
What is it? Just blocked?
It might
Is
just
it-
be this map, or
like
maybe it's out of
looks,
place.
It looks like the wrong position, but I don't know that it is because it should be centered on.
Well,
that.
sometimes the map
Sometimes it's
decal
not.
isn't centered,
Yeah,
but I
sometimes
think
it's
in this
not.
case it is. So
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing, but it's gonna cost him.
oh, he's trying to build two of them there now. Oh, jeez. Okay, here we go again. Sharpened Edge coming in for one more attack, but the battle cruisers are out, like you had mentioned. Benbot has been teching up, and now he's got Yamato. Battle cruisers, Stim even on the way. He's going to get some really nice marine support for this, but he might not even need it. This might be the final big attack out of Sharpened Edge. He's putting everything he's got into it. The Warp Prism is even microwaving some of these hurt stalkers out of the way, but it's just not enough to break through.
It's the frustrating part is, yeah, it was enough to break through.
Yeah, it
It's
was,
just
of it,
not-
but in
it's
this case
just
it
not
wasn't.
the
because
way.
it
Yeah, it's just not the way to do it. He also, that was a case that the Liberator set up in a direction, and he just walked right through it.
oh, yeah.
And but again, tanks were chilling back there. He didn't hit them. Whatever. But yeah, it's the third base failure. I think he'd be way ahead if he had been able to just continue going, and he hasn't.
All right, well, there are disruptors out. That's going to definitely do a lot of damage. Maybe it can take out the tanks finally and allow the stalkers to clean up the Air Force, but it might just be a little bit too late. I think there's going to be too many battle cruisers, just too many upgrades, too much stuff for Benbot. Yeah, that
He's
supply
on a bit of a
discrepancy is-
clock. He's lucky that Benbot is not just pumping battle cruisers like crazy. He's replacing the Liberator first. Try this again. It's going to come down to like if these two disruptors are like miraculous. They could be.
They could be, but they also can't hit air, so it doesn't really matter how miraculous they are if all the stalkers get cleaned out.
Yeah, but
First.
still, balls directly into those two tanks, and suddenly you've got a lot more air.
Yeah, we'll
But-
see. Well, the tanks are kind of spread out now. There's one in
Yeah.
the third base mineral line, and with the anti-armor missile on a lot of the units, that's definitely going to clear. Oh, he doesn't get the disruptor shot. It got denied, and Warp Prism's even going to die, and that's just going to be it. That is just too much.
Yeah, couldn't fight in the
Oh.
planetary. Had to get the army by itself, and fighting in a planetary force.
Well held by Benbot. Sharpened Edge absolutely had some power into those attacks and had some potential with those army compositions,
Yeah.
but a little bit of mishandling, and yeah, Benbot with just really good positioning, great bunker and tank positioning is just really going to seal the deal here.
Yeah, for sure. And now he is triple pumping the BCs.
Triple pump.
And that's going to do it. Yeah, I think he could have had him on that first one. I think he essentially broke him, but he didn't. Like
Yeah.
the tanks were just left alive. But I think he had the material at that point or sorry, not the first attack. The first attack, everything was slaughtered by 2 Widow Mines.
Yeah.
But the following attack, so the second attack, was the
And that's
good
too
one.
bad because Sharpened Edge
Yeah.
gets observers and has the ability to
He
deal
saw
with
them.
those Widow Mines. And
Yeah,
I think
he
he
saw
saw
them.
him. Yeah, I think
He
he had
saw
an
'em.
observer with that, right? Yeah.
I think it's just a
Still.
matter of target priority. Like you've got a bunker, you've got a liberator. Actually, you didn't at the time, but just a bunch of things that are obviously competing priorities, and it's easy for, again, a person to kind of look at it and be like, "Well, you got to take this out." Obviously, it's
Yeah.
harder to necessarily code that in.
All right. Well, this should be just about it. Benbot finally on the offense is going to start putting some pressure on. Ground force might get cleared up here, but I don't see anything really stopping the battle cruisers. Maybe this attack. Yeah, we're going to see the battle cruisers maybe teleport out of here or something, just to go home and repair. But as soon as they get back, it should be pretty much over.
Stalker's
What
doing a
did
really
a
good job
pencil-
of blinking. Yeah.
Hey, Anderson, what did a pencil say to another pencil?
I don't know what.
You're looking sharp.
Oh, nice.
Ba-dum.
Yeah.
I like that. There's jokes included. It's like fortune cookie jokes or something. Very nice. All right, Steam Marine's going to take a little skirmish here. We'll go in Sharpened Edge's favors momentarily. Oh, yeah, those Marauders might want to heal up before they start attacking into this. I don't know what they're doing here. No, this game is pretty much in the bag for Benbot. Should, save some weird scenario where he just sacrifices all his army and doesn't attack. But good series. Great series out of these two. Going all the way. Both of them really showcasing that they can go to that later game. If Sharpened Edge fixes that third base, what shenanigans, whatever the heck was going on there,
Yeah.
all of a sudden this is a much more even game. We're going up into the 20-30 minute game mark, I think.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether it's that big. That doesn't strike me as the first time we've seen that.
No, we saw it last week, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, where there was something weird on that.
Some weird with third base. Well, and that's where we're not going to see it fixed this week because we don't get updates until 2 weeks from now. So Sharpened Edge is kind of living on that, that code, whatever it may be. A lot of sentries came out, but unfortunately they are not very good against battlecruisers. In case anybody did not know, sentries suck against battlecruisers. Yeah.
A little bit.
Just don't do it. I love sentries, but boy, don't use them against battlecruisers.
Not great.
Not great.
Not great. They do beat a Reaper.
They do beat a Reaper. They beat Bio really well. They're really good against Bio and Siege Tank composition. So that's probably where it's coming from, is because of the Bio and Siege Tanks, which in that case, it's a great response. But yeah, once battlecruisers are out,
Yes.
your sentries are pretty much null.
Now we have to deal with the fact that Benbot doesn't end games.
So, yeah, he's being real passive about this, just methodical.
yeah.
Hey, he wants to win. I get it. He wants to move on securely. You can absolutely throw a game by being a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah.
100%. So I respect the caution, and here we go. He's still attacking with a lot of wounded units, so you got to give him some credit there.
Very true.
But yeah, it's a lot of battle cruisers. Battle cruisers for the win are going to secure Benbot's chance at moving on here. It will now be Benbot versus Zena in the next round. That'll be next week. We'll be seeing that matchup, so make sure you check that out. But tonight, we do have a couple more best of threes Undersword. Somebody was asking in chat what they were. We're going to talk about them real quick, and then we're going to go to a quick little 5-minute break. So thank you all for being here on day 2 of ProBots. We do have 2 more games coming up. Let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket, or our matches, if we have it. In case anybody is just tuning in, make sure you go check out last week's games. Had a lot of really good ones. A lot of really quick, cheesy, aggressive games so far this season. But that series went all the way to game 3, and it was awesome. That was a really good series.
Indeed. So yeah, we're gonna see Kanana, one of our newer bots, but I think it may be the third or fourth
Third season,
now.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anniebot, one of our longer running bots, but hasn't actually been around for the last couple of seasons. So kind of making a return into the competition. And then we've got 2 veterans, one kind of like the ultimate veteran, Micro Machine, against Dominion Dog, a newer one, but still like, I should
Dominion
just know
Dog
these,
has been
but
around for
like
like
8 or 9 seasons or
quite a
something.
few
at this.
seasons,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for a while now.
We've definitely seen these two up against each other before. I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly when, but
Definitely we have. And Dominion Dog, I think, first came in with a different name, but this is a new iteration. Or, yeah, a lot of name changes, but the author has been around. Author's been
Yeah.
around for at least 2 years.
for sure. Yeah, Dominion Dog Micro Machine here. Went 2-1 in what was this? 2022 season 2, and that was just that was an older one I pulled up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they've definitely gone up against each other. It should be a lot of fun. All right, so we're gonna go to a quick little 5-minute break here. Thank you everyone once again for being here. Make sure you check out all the links below us, and make sure you check out our website. You can see it there right below me, ProBotsAI.com. We have extra content. This Friday, tomorrow night, we will be doing our first episode of PostBots for the season. That is just a little after show where we have bot authors join us and we ask them questions and we talk about their bots and other bots and watch things AI related and all sorts of stuff like that. So definitely check it out if you want a little bit more ProBots content. If you want to help support the scene, go check out that website right there below me. All right, Endersword, are you ready for a quick break before we get back into things?
Let's do it, and we'll be right back. Stick around.
We'll be right back. 5 minutes. Come back. Bye. We're back. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you had a nice little break, and I hope you're ready for some more best of threes out of these bots. I'm ready. Are you ready, Endersword?
I think I am ready.
You think?
I was born ready for this stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to get things kicked off here. We've got Kanana, I think it's pronounced. I don't know. We've never gotten official
It's a
pronunciation
snake
for it.
or something.
Yeah, snake or something. Versus Anniebot, the return of Anniebot. Now, a lot of updates have gone into Anniebot, and I'm sure updates into Kanana as well. So this should be a really good matchup. They have a little bit imbalanced win ratio. Talk about what? That's what I'm literally doing. Talking about these two bots. All right, Kanana here with a good win rate is gonna
be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know what to talk about now. Now I've just been derailed completely.
I know. I don't know why he said that. I think he hates you.
Hey, you're doing really good. Let me. I thought I was doing good. All right, Rust is programmed in Rust. I think the only bot programmed in Rust. Again, one of those languages that I have never heard of until now.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those odd ones. I've heard of the game Rust, and that's it.
I haven't played that yet. It looks kind of.
It looks neat. It looks neat what people do with it.
Yeah.
The game itself looks basic, and then people make like entire civilizations.
Wait, which one is that? Is that the MMO?
It's almost like a survival. It's like a
survival
FPS.
MMO. Yeah, FPS MMO. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Anniebot coming back after a little hiatus with a pretty good win rate as well. Still competes with the top bots there on the AI Arena ladder, and did qualify in 7th, it looks like, for this tournament. So doing pretty well, coming back strong.
Yep. And it looks like kind of the matchup between these two is definitely in balance, but I imagine that Anniebot has been making a lot of updates since it is kind of returning. So that, again, may not be indicative of where we're at right now.
Totally.
But we'll find out, obviously, as we get in.
Well, I know I do think some of these bot authors, maybe more than even I think, come into ProBots with specific builds. They will come in with a plan. Oh, okay, I'll probably be up against bot A, B, Z, so I need to, have a certain build for this map and that kind of thing. So not, necessarily sniping, but just a little bit more prepared.
Yeah, kind of you're picking, right?
As opposed to the general ladder. Yeah, you're picking.
Because on the ladder, you're playing hundreds of games, so you're just going to throw a bunch of things at the wall. But here, you're going to be like, okay, we'll choose this, this, and this. So
yeah, you're going to choose your strongest builds because, again, some of these bots have a lot of builds that they can do. So you want to choose your specific strongest ones for certain matchups, that kind of thing. Anyway, we are ready. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Our next best of 3 here: Kanana versus Anniebot here on ProBots. Let's go.
Kanana. Anniebot.
me. All right, here we go on ancient. What is this? Ancient cistern. The ancient aquifer here. I imagine belonged to the Zelmaga or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that.
Everything belonged to the
Everything
Zelmaga. It's just
belonged to the
everything.
Zelmaga.
That's the standard sci-fi. In any science fiction thing, there's an ancient dead race that did something.
They were
And
like
anything,
the forefathers of it
yeah,
all.
anything around is just some race that's dead. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, wasn't that Halo? Wasn't that the whole thing?
Halo did
the
that.
Forerunners.
Star Trek did that with
Star
their
Trek.
people. I'm sure Star Wars has a bunch of ancient shit.
I'm sure.
Everyone has an ancient race that did a thing.
All right, well, here we go. We've got Zerg here, one of our few Zergs in the tournament. They are, of course, the some would argue the better, more pure creation from the Zelmaga.
Mm-hmm.
But those people that would argue that are wrong because the Protoss are obviously the more pure race.
Exactly.
Just because they had a little strife and fighting amongst each
cooler.
other, maybe that's because they had bad parenting.
Just cooler people. Yeah, and no mouths.
No mouths. You don't need mouths.
Yeah, that's it.
Mouths are for the weak. You do not need to consume. All right, well, let's see what happens here. Kanana's got a second base coming up. Do you think we're going to see a little more aggression out of Kanana? Or a little more passive?
I think probably a bit of aggression. I don't think that Kanana was like a late game focused player. I think it tended to make kind of pretty early attacks, but I don't know. But we're getting interesting things out of Anniebot. What is that building? That is a Ghost Academy.
Ooh, Anniebot.
Coming in.
Doing?
Coming in. Swinging.
Ooh, are we going to see medevac ghost drops with nukes? That would be so excellent.
And is that?
And if we're not going to see it now, I'm saying it. We should see that in the future. Hint, hint.
Probably going to see nukes because there's no reason to build 2 Ghost Academies.
Yeah, there's no reason other than nukes for that. All right. I like it. I like it so far. Just one base nuke play. Make it happen.
Go for it.
Make it happen. Isn't that what the battlecruiser says?
Yes, I think so.
Make it so.
Make it
happen. Something like that.
I think make it so is Captain Picard.
Oh, yeah, that's Picard. Yeah, make it happen. That's the battlecruiser. All right. 3 bases now out of Kanana. This could get dicey, especially if we don't see detection coming up, because that's still just a hatchery in the main base, right? Yeah. This could get a little bit troublesome if we have Cloak Ghost running amok with no detection to be had, no spore crawlers, no overseers. We're going to need something. Oh, the Zergling does see it all.
He just locked himself out. I love that.
Yeah,
like the Ling went in, the Marine got off the depot, locked himself out, and then had to lower again.
That's awesome.
All right, there we go. First nuke is being built, and Ghost is about to pop out. Burrow doesn't save you from nukes.
Oh, nope. Does it reduce some of the damage?
No, you would think it should. It doesn't. It does not, other than the fact that maybe you got a tick for repairing, but I don't even think you do. Or like healing. I mean,
yeah, nuke's definitely not a very often used thing. What other stuff is a little underutilized? Do you think? What other units do these bots not use enough?
Phoenixes. We saw one come out earlier today, but I think Phoenixes are maybe a little underutilized, even though they're in human play. They have a pretty big role. Swarm hosts, birdlings, bird lords, a little bit underutilized.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of. Well, and those are, I can see why for those, because those are a much later game unit where it's a little bit harder to get to.
Hell bats, actually, now that I see Hellions, hell bats are pretty underutilized.
Oh yeah, we don't see a lot of that. You could do some really cool Hellbat drops.
Yeah.
But we
drops in general also.
Oh, interesting choice. So we're going to test the Burrow theory. Yeah. The drones decide the best course of action is to go right under the nuke and burrow. It does not help.
Interesting spot there. He almost killed himself because he immediately turned around and shot at a roach and stayed within nuke range.
Oh yeah, it took a little bit, but he does get out. The ghost does survive. Yeah. Do we have any detection coming down yet? No, we do not. Kanana is not reacting
Lair,
appropriately. We do have a lair on the way.
yeah,
Okay.
layers on the way. That's gonna make it a little more ubiquitous. I like
think
this.
that's just a
I like,
general.
yeah, I like seeing this sort of thing. But like 4 base Zerg, this has got to be pretty effective to
If you can
like
survive
try and
long enough
shut
and
that
get there.
down. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying the nukes are effective?
Like
to shut it
the,
down?
I mean, the nukes they've got to be like super heroic.
Oh,
wanna-
I see what you're saying.
If you want to shut down.
Oh
this
yeah,
much
you're gonna
stuff.
have to hit full mineral lines here
Yeah.
soon. Which, if you're rushing nukes, that's kind of what you have to do. You need to do some special tactics, as
Pretty-
White Raw
yeah.
would say, and sneak behind the base, take out whole mineral lines if you can. I want to see the ultimate. Just you nuke every mineral line plus every retreat path.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times the
Like
drones are
it.
going to run away, so you need to nuke where the drones are going to potentially run to, as well as the mineral line. That is going to be the ultimate nuke bot if we ever see that. 8 nukes all at once.
They need to add like research that shortens nuke time.
Yeah,
It's a little long.
Yeah, you think with all the technology and like light speed travel and things like that, they could make a nuke get to its target a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's like,
right?
Because they show the nuke launching from the Ghost Academy, and then eventually it like lands, but for the first half of the nuke deployment, the nuke hasn't launched yet.
Yeah, it's like they're prepping it. Well,
Yeah,
they do
they're,
have
like,
to make
prepping
sure
it. They're,
that
like, painting the target.
ballast doors are closed.
Yeah,
And I don't know.
They're fueling it. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah,
Making
so
sure the
there's
fins are all adjusted properly. All right, an interesting nuke here is just going to start nuking the creep, so it doesn't want to go too far and just wants to keep the Zerg, I guess, pushed back with the nukes, and is just going to use them as like a wall, I guess, like a really poorly timed wall that can only hit certain things. I don't know.
Yeah, strange. Another so this
There we
one a little more on
Yeah, he's
base.
nuking creep
Maybe would
tumors.
catch. Yeah, that does kind of seem to be it. He's nuking the edge of the
that what
creep
he's
to
doing?
push it back.
Well, is he
Maybe.
nuking creep tumors like specifically though? Like that's two of them that were pretty close to.
If he waited 5 seconds there, that could have been bad.
Yeah.
The roaches seemed intent on just walking into that.
That would have been juicy. Oh boy. Nope, things shaping up pretty well for Kanana. Definitely survived the initial kind of cheesy harass there. There was 1 or 2 nukes that might have done some damage, but
Yeah, it's got
that's a lot of roaches.
A lot of roaches with burrow, with movement. Just a really good unit. Like, we still haven't seen many people solve this yet.
Well, this is a little bit of a solution. A scan with
Scan's
concussive
good.
shells
Yeah,
does pretty good.
Scan's good, but he killed like 2 roaches.
Yeah, it's a start. It's something.
There's brood lords, like I mentioned, so maybe we'll see.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
they're not there, but he's saying it.
He wants them. Yeah, the Spire's about to finish up, so we will see Broodlords and Festers. Kanana, yeah, I've really been impressed the last couple of seasons. Kanana's really been able to get to that late game, big armies with a lot of different units. We've got Infestors, Broodlords coming out, upgrades for all those on the way. That's really how you got to play it.
He sees him, but he's really hesitant.
Ooh,
That was weird.
that was close.
He spotted him, but the roaches kept like juking back and didn't go after him.
Yeah. All right, this is getting a little scrappy. There's little skirmishes kind of happening everywhere. Overseers are just scouting at the north wall. Here come the roaches from the south. Great tank positioning. Actually might be able to ward this off. If the roaches take enough damage, you can see them burrowing and running all the way back home, or at least far enough away to heal up completely. Oh, it's just not quite enough to hold, though. The roaches coming back into the battle will be able to push it.
Yeah, it's just not killing enough of them is the issue. The ghosts, they're getting these nukes off. They're just on these like strategically irrelevant locations.
They're not hitting anything, actually hitting
unfortunately.
anything good.
Yeah.
But I will say, it's a great start. We do not see nukes almost ever. Like, we've seen a couple nukes in ProBots, but if you're going to make a bot that can nuke consistently and nuke well, you got to start somewhere. And this is a pretty good start. It's, Kanana's getting nuked here and there. We're seeing bases get hit a little bit and things like that. So there's definitely some good starting material here.
Yeah, I like seeing it. Just just not super effective. But
Yeah.
I like that people are trying.
Well, the oracles, when the first few oracles we saw, they were the worst
Yeah.
oracles we've ever seen in our lives.
For seasons.
But now
Or-
we're seeing oracles pretty consistently get 6 kills, 7 kills, you know. So there's definitely growth to be had, but this is a great start. Phenomenal place to start here, Anniebot.
Yeah.
All right, Kanana, I think, is going to be able to eventually just choke Anniebot out, unless miraculously somehow Anniebot's able to get that
Yeah,
base up.
really
and running.
nice
on the
fungal
north
there.
side.
He finally
Yeah.
did get to Broodlords. The Greater Spire is finished. He's making some corruptors now. He
Oh,
is
yeah.
supply blocked, so he can't really even make that many, but it's kind of irrelevant at this point. Kanana, by the way, like really good multi-prong attacking throughout a lot of this. He was hitting like 3 bases at once, units being controlled everywhere, just doing a really good job with that. So Kanana is like one of the most improved from like I think the very first season. It was just kind of like 2 base roach rush sort
Yeah.
of thing, and that's now getting into big macro, using every unit, good infestor hits, things like that. So it's
Good
becoming
unit
a very,
control in general.
yeah,
I'd say.
very good developed bot.
Absolutely. Well, and the burrowed roaches too. That's another one of those units that we've seen some pretty good evolution out of. It's still not
Yeah.
perfect. There's definitely some tweaking to be done here and there, but in this instance, it worked out really well. Really nice burrow, pull back to heal, come back into the fight mechanics. So that worked out nicely. I think that was pretty good.
Indeed it is.
Indeed. All right, game number 2 is being loaded.
Yeah.
Everybody, hang with us here. Let us know in chat who
Yeah.
you want to win if that poll. Oh no, it might be closed.
I don't know. Probably. But yeah, is Anniebot going to switch it up? I like the nuke build, but obviously that's not going to work a lot of the time. So we'll see if there's a shift back to something a bit more traditional.
I think there will
Kanana definitely went with a very economic, very base greedy sort of opening. I think, there's opportunities there to hit timings against that and potentially do some damage. Probably before, like, say, that burrow is done.
Mhm.
But he was on like 4 bases, I think, when the burrow was done. So yeah, like if you could stem some of that growth, then Anniebot could potentially stay in this. But we'll see. Anniebot's always done kind of the creative stuff, so
Yeah.
I don't
Well, I
know
think
if
it's
I
going to be
expect
able to
more.
random as well. I'm looking
Yeah.
at the notes here, and Annie has a few weird strategies, and it almost feels like they're maybe chosen at random. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out here.
See, all right,
Game 2.
get into
It's
it.
ready. Let's go.
Kanana. Anniebot.
Got a couple things actually I've got to address here before this game kicks off. I was lied to. I just want to make that clear. It's not my fault. Updates are next week. We're actually going to have bot updates. So bot authors, if you were listening to me earlier and you're like, oh, I've got plenty of time to update my bot. I'm full of lies. Don't believe me. Get your bots updated and ready. Next week will be that first round of updates where you get a veto. You get to show us some new stuff. You get to fix any bugs that might be present. So definitely get to work on that. All right, that's the first one. What was the second thing I wanted to say? Oh, I just had it, and now it's gone. It was important too, Undersword.
I don't know if that's true.
Ah, maybe it wasn't true. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it'll come back to me. There was something else, and I was. Oh man, this is gonna bug me. I can't remember what it was. All right, well, here we are on game number 2, Golden Aura, Kanana versus Anniebot. This is their tournament, Anniebot's tournament life on the line here in this game. I'm hoping we see. I kind of hope for the greed build. I just again looking at these notes for Anniebot. There's a greed build listed here, and I think
it
that
could do
would play
okay.
well against
Yeah,
Kanana.
I think so too. I think Kanana didn't really show inclination towards like a strong early attack or anything. So if Anniebot is looking to go late game, then maybe that's both of them just kind of no rush 20 and take it to the end.
I remembered. It was for PostBots. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that real quick. I had mentioned that earlier. Again, that's our extra content. If you want a little bit more ProBots bot action, that is more now. We've kind of changed the format of that, or just kind of how it works. It's an open invite to all bot authors, and even if you're not a bot author, if you just want to come hang out and listen to them talk. But it's more of a session for all the bot authors to kind of come and talk about problems they may be having with their bots, or strategies or things like that. So more of a discussion group thing, kind of like a book club, I guess.
It's exactly
something like that.
Like a book club.
Yeah, exactly like a book club. There you go.
Yeah.
Come hang out, talk about bots and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're definitely trying to make it more of a communal feel, where we're all just hanging out talking about bots and stuff like that.
I think this week they're up to the 3rd chapter of Little Women.
Yes, something like that.
So we'll see.
We could start a StarCraft book club. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And we'll have Mind Me tomorrow night, so come check it out. I've been told he will be joining us, so definitely stop by if you want to talk bots and see more bot stuff. So I think that's open to all members in the Discord.
Yes.
So you gotta check out the membership. It's worth it if you like that stuff. Do you like this stuff, Anderson? You like these bots?
I do like the bots.
all right.
I like the bots. I like talking about bots. I like talking about AI stuff.
Yeah, the AI stuff is really cool. What's really becoming prevalent, like up until this past 5 years, I'd say it was still very much in the theory, almost theory stages. This is what we could do. This is what. So we're actually getting a lot of practical, useful examples that even just the layman, you can go create recreate Captain Picard's voice through a voice AI thing now, and make it say whatever the hell you want.
Exactly. Yeah. The funny thing about all AI and what we're seeing now is the theory for all of this stuff was around since the 40s.
It's been around a long time.
But it was always just ridiculous. It was just so big that it was stupid. So that whenever you were like, let's do this, it's like, okay, great. I'll get all the computers in the world and we'll make it do that. But now it's like, okay, I'll get a 4090 and it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's about equivalent to all the computers in the world times a million.
Yeah.
From 1940.
Exactly. So it's literally how things like ChatGPT works is well, let's just take all the words that exist and put them in a big table with all the other words that exist. And we'll just make correlations between all the words. And it's that's psychotic, but that's what they're doing. So it's just stuff that you could not have done. But the concept is very often very straightforward. But
and it's because it's been built upon. The foundation was built a long time ago, and it's been built upon for decades now, and expanded. Yeah, it's not like all of a sudden 5 years ago someone was like, "Hey, I got AI,"
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a big work in progress. It's cool. It's cool to watch the evolution of it and kind of be a part of it, though.
Yeah, and what I like, and I kind of said this at the top of the night, but the AI competing against AI, that's a real world thing. I did a talk a few weeks ago. People are trying to use AI identities to scam banks and big companies and things like that with voice faking or making up fake pictures of yourself or fake IDs and whatever, and they're getting away with doing it. But AIs are now countering that, and you were using AI to detect fake voices, which turns out to be really easy. They sound like real voices, but when you look at them digitally, they're totally different.
Oh yeah, it's very hard to recreate the natural pattern of life, and not even in that, in just we've tried to recreate bird wings and things like that. It's just so hard to recreate the actual
small things. And even on people use filters a lot. You can use a filter to replace your face with someone else's face.
Ooh, here we go.
Here we go. Going across, I'll just finish that point before he gets there.
Sorry, I saw the start.
It's fine. Yeah, I saw that too. It will fool the human eye, but people now have stuff you hold up an app and record your face, and it will just slightly flash little lights at you that you can't see as a human, but the computer can, and it'll be like, oh, the lights didn't reflect
Oh,
because
interesting.
it's fake.
Great
So
to
yeah, here on a choke here, I think he's kind of got the Zerg in a meat grinder.
It's a weird
and
choke though, because the Zerg's on the
it
high
is.
ground.
Yeah, and the Zerg's the one
So-
being baited down. The tank's in good position there, kind of.
Well, that's a great position now with
Yeah.
that wall of bio blocking. This could do a lot of
Yeah.
damage. Yeah, that choke's actually really starting to hurt Kanana. All the
Yeah.
queens are starting to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, giant tank blasts, and he's now got 2 deployed there.
Hope the Cyclones mixed in too.
Yeah,
That's a really
Cyclones
good
once they
addition.
get to the high ground. Good scans there too, providing vision. And
Look at this army movement. This is some solid army control here. Really staying together, keeping the Marauders in front. You've got Cyclones in the back just to deal that extra punch of damage. And then the Marines are just, I don't know what the heck they're doing now. Protecting the tanks, it seems, which is smart, in case mutas or something like that were coming. But wow, making this work out in a really interesting choke point, kind of on the high ground, on creep as well.
Yeah, I'm
Is
hoping
it
the
enough to
terrain.
break through, though? I don't know.
It feels like he's got enough army to do it. If he can get the tanks repositioned to the high ground, then I think he's got it. It's a matter of, do you have the clearance to do that? I think what's screwing up a little is this rocks and stuff that was at first in his advantage ended up accidentally like splitting his bio army,
Oh, okay.
and then he ended up with some to the north side there, and that's now hurting him.
Zerglings tried to close the distance, but they
Yeah.
will get cleaned up, so the tanks are still relatively unthreatened for the moment. Yeah, they really need to get up on that high ground there so they can start pushing these queen back a little bit further.
Yeah.
He really wants to just maybe catch them into a corner or something. But here we go, more roaches. They're gonna. Do they have burrow? I don't think. They
I
have
don't
burrow
think they
this-
do.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
They
They're moving
do.
back.
Infestor is 3 infestors are coming out. If they can get a really good fungal, then that could halt this.
Oh, that
The
could shut this down. Completely.
Army supply is still in Anniebot's favor, but it's important to point out that the worker count and base count very much in Kanana's favor. So he can replace a lot faster, a lot cheaper here. And the Vikings coming in, not necessarily what you needed. Like 2 more tanks would have just...
Oh, that would have been the ideal scenario
Yeah.
for sure. Because there aren't any. Well, you say that. It would have been good for the short term, but since we are talking a little more long term,
There's a
Spire
big fungal.
finished.
Huge
So we
fungal.
might need. Oh my god, that was so much damage. How
There's-
did nothing died somehow in that fungal?
No energy on the medevacs, though, so he's not out of the woods
One
here.
more. Oh, that's it. He
Yeah.
catches half the army. He should catch the rest. I think there's one more fungal. Oh no, those are queens. Where's the infect? No, I think he's got another
Yeah.
fungal just about ready here.
Yeah, one was just there. He's down to 5 units.
Oh, this was so close to breaking through. He did push the creep back. That's really nice. Anniebot's able to secure the high ground slightly, but only momentarily. And now this is Zerg territory once again.
Yeah, a few little changes I think could have, if the 4 Vikings were 4 more medevacs, he doesn't care. That
Oh
there's
yeah,
almost
that would have been so
Um,
nice because all of a sudden that bio would have been healed
yeah,
and maybe
yeah.
survived.
And yeah, again, a couple more tanks coming at any point, I think would have just made that so deadly.
Pretty much anything but Vikings. is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know why the hell he made Vikings.
Yeah.
So-
Well, it's again later game. I guess that's good if there's going to be brew boards or something. But yeah, at this moment to make this push continue, he needed something else. Absolutely. All right. Well, this has been pretty much held and pushed back. Anniebot is now on the back foot. Really held his ground for a long time there, which was impressive, and managed to get a little bit of forward movement into Zerg territory. Kanana's looking so strong. This is really starting to look like. Like Eris's little brother or something. It's just looking really strong.
Yeah.
Able to get up into that late game, just constantly expanding.
Yeah, it's got
Upgrades are
that look.
continuously cranking out. It's got what?
Yeah, it's got that look and feel to it of
Yeah.
just
Just total domination.
yeah, use every
Almost.
unit, kind of take the right fights, have enough economy to just kind of stabilize through all this stuff.
And I mean, if you think that's just kind of should be the Zerg norm. That's how you are going to play ideally, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I always thought like one of Eris's like really good abilities is to take on a bigger force and just delay you and delay you and delay you until the point that he's now hit the late game, and that's exactly what I'm feeling out of Kanana here. That position with all those chokes and everything should have been enough for the Terran to completely win, but he just delayed him and delayed him and delayed him until there was nothing there.
The Queens did a good job of
Yeah.
buying time here. Hopefully the stream can't hear Drew.
Probably. I don't know.
Maybe they can. Who knows?
Who knows?
Just
Either
let
way,
them know
we're
in case they
working.
can. Okay, they can't. Good. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is gonna be it. The Zerglings and the Roaches and all the Hydralisks. Oh my, they're gonna be able to clean this up. So, hey, great series though. Anniebot really showing some fun stuff here. Starting off with the risky nuke strategy. Definitely hard to pull off, especially when we're again in the early stages of strategies like that. We don't see nukes ever. I think once or twice we've seen them in ProBots. So big risk to go that path, but I think it could have definitely paid off. Had the other bot not been prepared for something like that. But good series. Kanana's moving on. All right. What do we got? Anything else you want to say on that before we talk about our next match here?
No, other than that's just really good, and Kanana is going to be one to watch for the rest of this season, but also in the future.
Oh, for sure.
And but on to this one, we got a TVT Micro Machine, one of our most veteran bots versus Dominion Dog. Yeah, and
he has not missed a season since the start.
Yeah, and I don't know how updated it is because they've kind of put it on maintenance for a bit. Both of the authors.
I think it's been at least 3 seasons since an update of any kind.
Sounds about right, but as you can still see from the ladder results scrolling below us, still a 97 win percentage against Dominion Dog. So yeah, Micro Machine staying. It's just so solidly built. That
he's like the absolute beast of the lower bracket.
Yeah.
Almost good enough, not quite good enough to beat the top bots necessarily, just because of the lack of updates and stuff like that. You can do a specific build that Micro Machine might not be ready for, or might not be updated to defend against, and you can get a lot of wins that way. But still solid, still really hard to beat. Micro Machine underwater this season, hunting sharks with a fancy trident. Where's that trident from? Is that like a WoW weapon? What is that?
It looks maybe Aquaman inspired.
Aquaman?
I don't know.
Is that like a specific nerd trident I should know about?
That's
a nerd lore thing.
Yeah, that's a DC thing, right?
I don't know.
It's got Amber.
He's Micro
Amber
Machine.
That's all right.
You know him. We know him. Everyone knows him. He's Micro Machine. Dominion Dog. This is one of your favorites.
Yes, just a dog in a hat with a pipe.
Dog in a hat with a pipe.
Who's gonna hate that? Nobody.
One of our Java bots.
Yeah.
Dominion Dog has looked really strong the last few seasons.
I think
we really brought a lot of good games.
Still think we got the team name spelled wrong. Dominion Dog.
Dominion Dog. No, that's right.
No.
What?
There's G's just chilling.
Where?
There's no I, and so his actual name is spelled right, but the team name was spelled.
I didn't see the team name.
Dominong.
Dominong
Dog. Unless that's how they're spelling it these days, but
I don't know.
But yeah, it's but basically it's Finalina and Underdog are the team there. So yeah, doing good. But we'll see if they get anything in store. Again, Micro Machine is kind of it's a known entity, but it's just a really, really good entity.
Even preparing for him, you might not beat him.
Yeah.
He's just that good. All right, well, let's see what happens. Our final best of 3 of the night here. Micro Machine versus Dominion Dog at TVT. Let's go.
Micro Machine. Dominion Dog.
Can't keep up with this. All right, Dragon Scales. Here we are for our final best of 3. Make sure you go check out ProBotsAI.com if you want to help support ProBots. Thank you to everybody who does. And thank you for just coming and hanging out and watching these games with us. It's a lot of fun. This is the future of StarCraft. We have definitely seen a ton of evolution and growth in these bots in the past. God, how many years have we been doing this now? 7? 6, 7?
That sounds long, but that might be right. I don't know.
No, I think it's been
Yeah.
a while.
It's a while. It's been like 3 seasons a year for like, yeah, at least 5 years. But I don't know. It's a while.
What
A
was the
while.
First season was in. I got the Wikipedia up right here.
I can't be
No, it was
2019.
like 2018. 2018.
Yeah.
Middle of 2018. So yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
like 5 years. Just over 5 years.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
It feels like longer.
Yes, everything's an eternity.
All right, well, here we go. Things are shaping up now. Micro Machine, not known for his cheeses, does get the early Reaper out, though. Yeah, we always see pretty much the same opening out of Micro Machine, unless there's, you know, an early attack or something that he has to respond to. But, yeah, we're just going to have a pretty passive opening here. We're going to have the Reaper coming out. Looks like Dominion Dog going to go straight for the factory, though. What can you do with that as a Terran early game? What are you going for if you plop that down super early?
I think he ends up making cyclones out of it. I mean, obviously you can make tank, you can make a cyclone, and make Hellions, but I think it's going to be cyclones a lot that Micro Machine is going for. Dominion Dog, I would bet more on the tank side, but we'll see. There's also this possibility, which is I make factory to make star point, then screw the factory.
Yeah.
That's also a valid possibility.
Micro Machine sees the starport, so full intel, and Micro Machine does utilize the scouting information quite effectively. So it's a good thing that he's seeing all this.
Quite true.
For him. We'll see. We'll see what Dominion Dog has up its sleeve, though. You know, you think you've got Dominion Dog figured out, and then all of a sudden you just get blindsided.
Worried about this guy, this SCV, boom, dead. That will delay what Dominion Dog is up to.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not
for at
good.
least a little bit. Second one is out, but it's being damaged as well.
Oh, these Reapers are so hard to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, even if you've dealt with it before, they're so slippery. Wait, did that one Reaper kill the Marines? I think it did.
Yeah, I mean,
He
there are
killed
2
2
in,
Marines.
but yeah, they definitely got something.
How
got
many
the,
kills
yeah.
is that Reaper? Oh, 1. Okay, he killed
One, there were 2. One of them killed an SCV. The other one maybe killed a Marine. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so not bad. Okay, just a little harassed. Good scouting, but all in all, Dominion Dog doesn't really take any significant damage from it. Oh, one more Reaper coming in to cause a little more havoc here. Ooh, one base attack is what seems to be happening here. A little old-fashioned 1-1-1, but with Liberators instead of Banshees here. So we're going to have the Marines and the tank making their way across the map to maybe put some pressure onto Micro Machine's natural. But we're going to have Banshees coming out soon. And I think if a Banshee comes out, Dominion Dog is in big trouble. Because there's not a lot of good anti-air. Oh, there's just enough army here to hold anyway, I think. Ooh, that was a good shot, though, with the tank.
Yeah, depending on the tanks here.
Good control, keeping the Marines back. Making sure they're just providing high ground vision. If the Marines die, the tank also can just get steamrolled, so...
Yeah, if he could get the Liberator in a good position where it's covering kind of the bottom of that ramp, then he can get a lot done here, but I don't know. Yeah, he's baiting them forward. That's good.
Oh, man. I was going to say Micro Machine looked a little afraid, but walked a little too far forward into that tank fire. Now second tank is here.
Oh, terrible.
Liberator gets locked onto. Oh, no.
As I mentioned before, Liberators are one of those things. Just they can be useless.
Yeah,
and
that was a great example.
Yeah, that positioning was just made no sense. It looked like he was going for the right spot, and then he corrected to exactly where I think it should have been, but it was too late.
Yep. Oh yeah, you got to get it initially, and that is what is so hard for these bots to sometimes recognize is where do you point it? Because do you want to cover the ramp? Do you want to cover units coming from behind you? You know, there's just a lot of different scenarios to do it. 3 tanks are here now, though, and that Cyclone didn't quite get the kill on the wounded tank, so it's still going to keep pressuring Micro Machine. I am impressed this is pushing so far forward here. Viking lands, but who doesn't die?
Yeah, I'm impressed by the push forward, but it's concerning, too, because it's too far.
Yeah, now it is an overstep. Yeah, now it's
too,
in tank range.
too aggressive. One thing that's often hard for the bots to do, and like we see it all the time, is like tanks obviously need that marine cover with them, and I feel some over appreciate that they've lost it, and some massively under appreciate that they lost it.
Yeah.
And then they still act as if they're like, I'm super strong tank, and then they reposition, and it's like, no, dude, you're done.
Yeah.
you gotta get out.
You have no more support.
Yeah, it's like this. Like, so he's moving up. He's in tank range, and I don't think it appreciates that.
Yeah.
And
Well, is part of it the vision too, because of the ramps? Maybe the tank.
it should
The,
be
the air is pulling back, so now he's like,
yeah.
I'm safe to move up.
Yeah, it should be, but the Raven should have been able to see that.
Yeah, I think the Raven's just on the edge
Yeah.
of the tank vision. Like it's poking up until it sees it and then pulls back. So anyway,
But he's held them to 2 base. A Micro Machine very often will go and take 3-4 bases by this point. He did a lot of damage to that CC, but it lived. So if he just kind of aborts this, regroups, then I think he's in an okay position here.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you can
they're
find
relatively-
that, what is that point? Like where do you call it? Where are you like,
It's
okay,
hard. Yeah.
I'm not doing damage anymore, because he was still denying.
Yeah.
Dominion Dog was still denying that natural by being there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Even though it was losing a lot of units.
Yeah, I think once you maybe get pushed off the doorstep, then you gotta say it's time to go. But
If your tanks start taking damage or something, yeah.
yeah, it's hard to do because you don't know, and you don't want to give like a false abort signal.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Where if you just continued like one more thing, you would have broken them. So yeah, it's one of the harder things to do. I guess you try and assess the damage that you're taking, try and assess their army, and say they got me outclassed now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, very even production tab. Both bots are going for cloaked banshees behind everything. Liberator coming out for Dominion Dog. We've got tanks still in production. Was that a fusion core that just finished for Micro Machine? I think that was. What was that for? Is he getting battle cruisers already?
did he? Yeah. I
Oh
didn't
yeah, he's
see
got a
about-
fusion
yeah,
core
yeah.
somewhere. I
Yeah,
know
he's
I
got a
saw it.
fusion core for sure, but I don't know if he got BC or anything yet.
I don't know what he's doing with
But
that.
it's there.
Yeah, maybe Liberator or something. All right, well, this isn't over yet, and it's actually still relatively even as far as supply goes. Dominion Dog definitely continues things back at home, even though the attack didn't go as planned. We still have 3 bases now up and running against Micro Machines 4, and really good production. There's a great infrastructure here. There's Banshees with Cloak coming out, a few Marines at a time. We've got defenses coming up. So Dominion Dog definitely going to try to take this into the later game from this point. But when Micro Machines ahead, again, it's one of those bots where even if you're really, really good, if your bots are really, really good, if Micro Machine gets ahead, usually stays ahead.
Yeah, it becomes really difficult, and we're now getting the economy ahead
I
with
guess
4
I
bases
should
to
prepare
3.
against cloaked units.
Armies for both still relatively low for 9 minutes into a game because they've been trading off and stuff. But I expect that we're going to see a boom there on Micro Machine side as it is adding some production.
Oh yeah, once the 4th base is up, it's definitely going to explode.
Also adding in a lot of turrets. He's aware that the Banshees and Cloak is a threat from the other side.
Oh yeah.
So you're getting there's turrets behind each base, which is pretty smart, covering the line.
Oh, we got to check out while we're here in the base. Go back to that natural, the gas. In case anybody isn't familiar with our bot gas mining trick, specifically Micro Machines. Bot gas mining trick. He's the only bot that does this, to my knowledge. A lot of the bots do speed mine now, which is interesting. Micro Machine doesn't. Wait, is he speed mining? Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean this is yeah.
Yeah, he is as well.
Yeah.
It's just less clicks. Some of the bots do a whole lot of clicks.
Yeah.
to
Some of them
speed mine,
actually
but-
tone it down. I think some of them start intense and then they tone it down as the game gets going because they don't have the actions anymore, or it will lag the game or whatever. I've heard that from a few. So that
All
may
right.
be the case. He's pulling now the turret there, trying to delay the army.
Ooh, Raven gets picked off. That doesn't help. Yeah, Dominion Dog definitely a little bit outmatched in this fight, I would say, just because of the tech disadvantage. You know, it actually does have some forces in the sky, but there's so many Vikings for Micro Machine. The Cloak Banshees don't really matter too much. Actually, are they going to get a tank? Oh, nope, not quite.
Yeah.
It was all a ploy. Just waiting for that scan.
Yeah, it was more the second attack that ends up being the effective one up into that fourth base, and causing that to be stopped.
Oh yeah, not having a fourth base at this point is pretty much
pretty
a death
tough.
sentence.
Tank sieges up, gets jumped on pretty quickly, and
That's it.
landed Vikings now.
No, there's nothing left to kill in the air, so you might as well.
See it? Yeah, there we go. Jumping up as
See
soon
that.
as
They see,
the
so you
Banshee.
can tell they see that Banshee, but for whatever reason, maybe there's not enough energy. We don't see a scan immediately. But the Vikings know it's there. They lifted, and you can see them kind of keeping their perfect little distance from it, just getting ready. And there's the scan. Now they should be able to get it.
Yeah,
All right,
Dominion Dog
well.
had switched into Thor there for a second, but there's a battle cruiser joining the fight there now. And I do like the switch into kind of like mid-game Thor. It provides stability, but it was just too late. Like,
Oh, you've got to have 4 or 5 bases to be able to support
yeah,
that
to
kind
do
of
that.
production. Yeah, we'll see if a couple Thors, 2 or 3 Thors pop out, but yeah, a little late. It's just not enough. They are going to be able to pressure maybe the air a little bit, but yeah, no, Micro Machine is at that point where he can now just rally army and units across and continuously fight. You know, it's one of those things bots are so good at, they can fight and macro at the same time. Every single individual unit. And Micro Machine putting that on full display here.
Indeed it is. And so yeah, we'll see if adjustments can be made. This is yet another one where I kind of say if you get the similar sort of attack on a map where there's not initially a ramp at the natural, then maybe it turns out different, because the Dominion Dog just gets into position better, controls better, kind of has vision better. I don't know. And then again, some things as subtle as like that Liberator positioning as it comes in, like could have been a hero unit and just turns into, you know, Rip Bozo sort of thing. Like just you're facing the wrong way, dude, and it's gone.
Army's over there.
Yeah, so that happens.
It's again there are still a lot of hurdles to overcome as far as the bot meta is concerned. What's the oracles? You know, they're doing better, but there's still improvements to be had there. Liberators, things like that. But impressive showing out of both bots here, but Micro Machine will be able to take game number 1. Just one of those hard to beat bosses. He's like the mini boss before the main boss in every. He's hard to beat, but if you can get past him, you can make it to like Eris or one of those super top bots.
Yeah, there's ways to do it. You just gotta dismantle. I almost feel like he's, now that it is kind of not been updated as much, it's kind of the gatekeeper.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's it's just
if
kind
you
of
can
there.
if you can get past Micro Machine, all right, you've made it into the big leagues. You know, you've got a chance to go up against some of the top dots on the current AI ladder. Yeah, and go check out AIarena.net if you have not already. It's where all these bots come from. I believe a new season about to start. So make sure you follow along with that. All right, we've got the second game loading up here.
We do.
I was going to ask you if you had a good Thanksgiving, but you're Canadian.
I am Canadian, so I did, but back in
you
October.
did, but a month ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully you all, if you're American, hopefully you're all having a good Thanksgiving. If you're not, hopefully you're just having a great day, whatever holiday or day you may be celebrating.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming and joining us here in ProBots. This is a lot of fun. Again, day 2, we've got a little bit shorter of a season this time around. It's 6 weeks this time. So we'll be wrapping up the week before Christmas. So yeah, follow along with our new format. Let us know how you like it. Definitely leave a little note if you like it or if you hate it. If you want to see something different or you just want to keep rolling with this, yeah, just let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm curious.
It's working out pretty good
though. I like it so far. It's like it's pretty like quick to the punch. But yeah, I kind of want to see, because you could do a single game and you're out, but on the other hand, it showcases. But yeah.
All right. Let's do it. Game 2. Oh wait, no,
Oh,
I thought he
or
was saying
not.
go. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
We're strong. I mean, we're gonna continue talking here.
Yes. Okay.
Well, now I'm
Well,
derailed.
yeah.
What were we talking about?
Well, I was trying to wrap that up really quick because I thought we were going to go. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. The comparison between the seasons, like from last season or last couple seasons, you have kind of that slow group stage start. No one gets knocked out for a few weeks, and I think it's like week 3 before you really get anyone out.
We're just doing full gladiator tournament.
Whereas we're like
time.
right away, but like it makes it so in before. I feel like in week 1. Well, I'll tell you straight up. Yeah, last season my bracket was perfect. It was predictable. This season, it's not. It's better.
Yeah,
Now
and
we're ready
we'll talk more about that in
Yeah.
a minute. I'm sure we'll do prediction brackets later this season. But let's go ahead and hop into Game 2, Micro Machine versus Dominion Dog. Thank you for your patience. Let's go.
Micro Machine. Dominion Dog.
All right, this could be it. Ancient Cistern Dominion Dogs tournament life is on the line. It's brutal, but I like this format. I do kind of like the single elimination. You know, you go into the arena, you get one chance, and you know if you make it happen, you're moving on. If not, we'll see you next season.
Indeed. So it looks like Dominion Dog definitely up to some shenanigans.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Shenaniganery. That
What
is
are you doing?
3 SCVs out.
Well, got to be a 3 racks, right?
Wow,
He's going close. How? Where are these going to place? Outside
right
the third?
There. Yeah,
right here.
there.
Yeah, okay, right outside the third.
Boop,
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 boop. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, can be good. It would be interesting actually if these floated in. Very often the problem is, of course, the ramps, right? So if you floated these in, would it have a shot?
See, yeah, this would be a perfect strategy for if Roro was up against Micro Machine here, and that's what we were kind of saying earlier. The win rate doesn't always mean that this bot's going to win. Micro Machine is a solid bot. He deals with almost everything really well, but there are certain scenarios where you can just totally blindside Micro Machine because it doesn't see it coming. You know, if these don't get scouted, and all of a sudden 10 Marines come up, Micro Machine's just like, la-di-da, oh, I'll get another base. I'm not seeing any pressure. But the Reaper, in its infinite wisdom, will jump off the cliff and see everything here. So,
let's go. Yeah, in time to chase the SCVs back. Unfortunately, not in time to actually stop one, which would
didn't get any SCV
nice, but yeah, the timing doesn't work out to allow that.
Oh wait, is this? Oh, okay. They were rallied up to the top. I was like, are these Reapers building? No, just Reaper Marine.
Kind of odd. Too.
Reapers would have been good though. A Reaper proxy on this map with that big cliff.
So here's kind of a
Reaper map
issue though. So he was. Let's see if they changed direction again. Because the Reaper was attacking SCVs, and because the Reaper was attacking SCVs, it was gonna go home. But a Reaper is still attacking SCVs. So
yeah, we're definitely gonna see Dominion Dogs.
Is he gonna try and run 6 Marines home? That's just not.
He's chasing the other Reaper still.
I don't know if I don't because he can't see it anymore.
But yeah, now he can't see it.
He's going. He started to go home because it was killing the 3 SCVs that were going home, and then when it killed the third one for a while, it wasn't attacking. So they turned back to his base again. Then the Reaper got to his actual base, and they went home again. So this is just the lost. You got to have commitment.
Yeah.
In your.
Well, you got to catch the Reapers too.
Ideally, yes, but this has to be a base trade.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, just don't go home. Commit.
Yeah, you can't go home. Like you just cannot go home.
He's going to save some of the workers, and we do see Marines still producing. Again, it's only 3 barracks, 3 Marines at a time, so as long as he can keep enough mineral income to keep piling on Marines, maybe Dominion Dog can just get an insurmountable ball
Yeah.
of Marines that they can just push up the ramp. But as soon as we get to 2 tanks, I think that becomes impossible.
Yeah, you can't.
One
really
tank,
do that.
maybe. 2 tanks, no. You're never pushing up that ramp with unupgraded Marines.
Yeah, and Micro Machine's gonna get stem. He's also still going to deal with this
I
problem.
still can't. Yeah, you can't even catch the Reaper.
You can't actually get them. Of course,
Oh.
these could split up and surround him, but they're not doing that. They're just. I don't know if probably people are not familiar with Timbits hockey, but this is what it looks like. You get a bunch of children.
Timba hockey. What?
Timbits hockey, which is
Timbits hockey?
Tim Hortons. It's like young children hockey, and so you get like 10 kids out on the ice and 1 puck, and they just all skate directly for the puck at all times.
Oh yeah, like that South Park episode where where they're all playing. And
that
really
level of hockey.
goes up.
It's but this is the phenomenon. Everyone follows the puck, and no one's ever like open or playing a position of any kind. That's what we're seeing. They're just following the Reaper. Nobody's playing like a zone defense.
Oh, is he gonna get one? Nope. Reaper gets away again, and this is gonna be it for Marines because the proxy barracks are now dead.
He caught the one that was jumping up, but he's just.
Oh, did he? Finally got one.
Yeah. And now the army supplies in Micro Machine's favor.
Oh yeah. No, everything's in Micro Machine's favor at this point. The proxy is all but dead and held. Marines pop out to their instant death, their instant doom here. And there will be one last engagement. Dominion Dog going to go for it, but there's a medevac now, so Micro Machine even has an advantage there. And as soon as the siege tank gets into the battle, I think Dominion Dog's just done for. It was a good attempt, and again, this is definitely the kind of thing that could catch Micro Machine off guard and take a win.
Yeah.
But didn't work out this time. It was right in the path of that Reaper. So yeah, maybe if Dominion Dog had built those 3 barracks up at the third base to the north, that Reaper doesn't see them, right? And then all of a sudden they can build up and waltz right in because they're not chasing Reapers or whatever.
Yeah, and I think even the seeing.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's actually doing okay with the army that he had here. He's just this is all he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
There's the other tank.
But yeah, it wasn't even so much the Reaper seeing, because the Reaper saw him and then just ignored it, and he just went to the other base. It was the going home to try and you gotta you can't do that.
Well, but it still does allow Micro Machine to start prioritizing things like getting a tank out and stuff like that. So.
Well, that's like because otherwise, like if 2 Reapers went across the map and he only had 2 Reapers, and you start attacking with 6 Marines. Now maybe he's in trouble. Now maybe he has to bring Reapers back.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Instead of vice versa. But at the very least, you're in a base trade situation, and he has Reapers and you have Marines. I'd rather have the Marines because they shoot the air.
Yeah.
So
they're not as fast as the Reapers.
Yeah, but you can't chase down floating buildings.
That should be a Reaper. Speaking of new upgrades, give the Reaper like a super boost. They get 1 boost where they can just jump up and jump on top of an air unit, and like stick a grenade in it or something.
That'd be cool.
That'd be epic. All right, well, Micro Machine will be moving on to the next round of the tournament here, and Dominion Dog will get knocked out. Now it's interesting. So all the bots that won last week just got eliminated this week. Every single one of them.
Yeah, this is why we wanted to do the seeding.
And that's what it does show. It's pretty even. It's pretty fair. You know, the bots ahead of them are technically a little bit better, a little bit, more higher up on the ladder.
Then, everyone else, exactly. Otherwise, it'd be just welcome to the league. You get bopped, you're out.
So now, but you are seeing now, it is a lot more evenly matched between rounds. Is kind of the idea there. So,
sure.
Hey, awesome stuff though. Great games tonight. Some really exciting, aggressive best of 3s here. Only one of them going the full distance to game 3, but awesome stuff here. Yep. So there is our qualifier. That's it. We did it. Our round of 12 or however. Yeah, I think there were 12 bots in this group right here, and 4 of them will be have moved on, I guess, right? Yes. Wait, how does it work now? So we'll see Zena versus Benbot next week, right?
I don't know. Or are we into
groups looking
now?
at the bracket.
I forget now. No, I think it goes into the group stage now.
Does it go to the group stage? No.
Do we have the full bracket? I thought that was
this is where I get confused. I was following the qualifiers. So next week we do have, according to the bracket, Zena
Oh yeah,
versus
you're right. You're right.
Anniebot,
Yeah.
and then we'll have Kanana versus Micro Machine, and then the winner of those two matches.
No. Yeah, I don't think it. I think it is. These 4 are now into the group stage. With
Oh,
these
you're
4.
right. We're in the round of 8.
Yeah.
But they
yeah.
will face each other, right? Or is this bracket just full of robots?
I don't know if that means they get in the same group or whether we're flipping. I don't know. That part I don't know. But we
Production,
are.
I need
But it is.
answers.
But it is into group stages. They cross.
So they
Okay.
swap. Okay, so we
Yeah.
will not. I lied. We will not see the matchups I just said.
Mhm.
We'll see these 4 bots that we just saw. They're going to go up against the 4 bots that are sitting there waiting. Do we have? Can we show those bots? Do we have
They're perfect.
a thing for that? Oh, we got some no's.
Didn't think that far ahead.
We didn't think that far ahead. That's all right. Who is waiting up there? Our qualifier. Oh, he's going to try to get something up. I know we've got Eris up there.
Yeah.
We've got
Eris up there, Ketrock up there.
Ketrock,
Phobos.
Phobos. Oh yeah, not Eris
Phobos,
anymore.
yeah,
It's now,
Phobos, yeah.
now Phobos.
Yeah.
Tyr is there.
Tyr
And who was the last one? I'm drawing a blank.
Shark nice. Shark.
Was it Shark?
Shark.
Sharkbot? Yeah.
It has to
Is
be,
it
right?
Sharkbot?
Either that
Sharkbot.
or he's not
Yeah.
in this. Yeah.
Yeah, Sharkbot.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 bots up there waiting. Again, that's Sharkbot, Tyr, Phobos, and Ketrock.
Yeah.
So those 4 bots will be going up against the 4 bots that just won tonight. All right. Hopefully that clears up some confusion. I know I just made it more confusing first, but then hopefully we've cleared it up a little bit. Just follow along. Show back up next week. We'll have more awesome games, more best of 3s, and more eliminations, I think. Or do we go into the...
So in the group stage,
Double
we're
now.
now into the double. So it will do.
Okay, so no eliminations next week.
Yeah, no eliminations next
But
week.
we will have updates next week.
Yeah.
So
And
the
I
bots you
think-
just saw will be updated.
It's either next week or the week after. There's one week that's like a mega week that we got like 6 matchups instead of 4.
Oh, do we?
I think that's
that a
week
thing?
4. Yeah.
Ooh,
But
scary. All right. Well, stay with us, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight. It was a lot of fun. And, well, if you get it before I'm done talking, great. If not, they can look at the graphic next week because I
Yes.
already told them the bots. You can go look at the bracket and
Bracket.
follow along there. Check out all the links below us. It's all listed there. Yeah, I think that's it for tonight. Thank you all for being here. And same time, same place next week. Week 3, our round of 8, our official round of 8 will be starting, and hopefully we'll be starting some prediction brackets next week. I think that should happen if we're doing a round of 8, right?
could probably do that. It's
Probably
not
do that.
like, yeah, although it's groups, those are harder to do the prediction
Yeah.
brackets for.
I don't know. We'll figure it
Well,
out. We'll
we'll
do
see.
prediction brackets
We'll
at
see.
some point so Endersword gets a chance to get a perfect bracket
Yeah.
yet again.
Mhm.
That was a good job last season. Well done.
Season.
All right. Anything you want to say to our loving viewers before we head out here, Endersword?
Just that I love you too. And
Hopefully
yeah,
they love us.
if you haven't hit the like button yet, hit that before you go. Subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah.
Yep.
good
Check
stuff.
out the website. Check out aiarena.net.
Mhm.
Again, that's where all these bots are coming from. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining us here on day 2 of Sideloaded, our final season of ProBots of the year. We'll definitely be doing more next year, so stick around and all that. And then hopefully we'll see you next week, same time, same place, here on YouTube for our next week of ProBots. See you then. Have a good night. End show.
See,
Is it over?
I think we're just still on.
Are we still on stream?
I
think we're
bet
just-
I bet that someone was
we're
trying to
still
make the
looking for
bracket,
graphic.
and then so they just
There.
left us there.